When I first got into real estate, it was a lot different than what it is today. I literally shot 2 TikTok videos a day to attract business and closed 57 deals. And that's it. That's literally all I did. Every buyer was happy with their purchase and every seller was happy with the price that I was able to get them on the sale of their property. The last 2 years in this career have probably been the 2 most difficult years of my life. The market here in Canada, for the most part, started correcting in February of 2022, basically crashed within those 3-4 months thereafter, and since then it's been extremely difficult. And every 6 months it's supposed to get better, and then 6 months passes and it's worse than what it was 6 months prior. Going into 2024, there was a ton of optimism. I remember having a buyers list of 100 buyers on it going into January. Everybody was excited. Everybody thought they were gonna have record years. Everyone was like, Finally, we've finally weathered the storm. We've made it through. We're on the other end. Things are gonna start getting better. And then again, things got worse. So what is it like being a realtor in 2024? Well, first off, I will say that the overall tone of society in general is very negative. People are struggling, people are depressed, and here in Canada, pretty much the main source of that depression and negativity stems from real estate. People bought homes that they are underwater on. People renewed mortgages and their mortgages went up 50%. People feel dumb because they bought properties close to the peak of the market, which they are now losing a lot of money on. People are taking on second jobs, working extra hours to have to try and pay for all of this. And if you're in real estate, you are going to be on a daily basis dealing with people who are dealing with a lot of these problems. And the result of this is lots and lots and lots of difficult conversations. We as realtors these days rarely ever get to give people good news. It's pretty much all bad right now. My life on a daily basis is give bad news, put out a fire. And the weirdest thing about the market right now is it seems like every house my clients want to write an offer on sells in multiple offers where we have to compete against 4 other people. And every listing I have just sits there and collects dust on the MLS. So it's like everybody just wants the good inventory, but the good inventory is few and far between. I work all day, every freaking day. I actually just took my first day off last week, my first day off in 3 years. I work all day, every freaking day, 14 hours a day, answering inquiries. Hey, can you show me this property? Can you send me details on this? Can you read these strat docs? And blah, 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 blah. And I don't get paid for anything. I shouldn't say I don't get paid for anything because I am closing deals here and there. But for the amount of work that I'm doing, I'm literally probably working 3 to 4 times harder than what I was back in 2021, 2022, and making half the money. And this has been extremely exhausting and defeating. Now, just so you guys know, for all the people out there saying, oh, he thinks he works hard and he's a realtor. Well, I was a plumber for 9 years, so I do actually have some contrast working jobs that you would consider to be hard work. And I can tell you that it is very rough out there right now for realtors, mortgage brokers, and people in the industry. And in fact, for me, it's pretty much at the point where my phone ringing is like nails on a chalkboard because I know I'm gonna have to pick up this phone, have a difficult conversation with somebody, explain to them why they're wrong about whatever it is that they think. And, there's a very, very small chance that that phone call will actually result in a paycheck. Hot leads are turning to cold leads at a rate I've never seen before. Somebody calls you ready to do something, 45 minutes later, they don't text you back. You never hear from them ever again. These kinds of things were never happening before. And even on the listing side of the transaction, historically speaking, every realtor wants listings because listings are the easier side of the transaction that pay you a little bit more money. However, right now, even listings have been more difficult to manage than buyers because sellers are very panicked about what's happening. They want to get rid of these properties, but they want to get rid of them at prices that they can't really get anymore. And as a result, I find that my sellers require a lot more attention right now. They want updates every single day. They want to, experiment and change the listing descriptions more often. They want to do this, that, and the other. and they just require a lot more attention than what they did in the past. They're also significantly more difficult to sell, and they sit on the market for a month instead of 4 days. So the result of all of this is that most realtors that I talk to today are depressed. They are struggling with their mental health. I even heard of this one realtor who won Rookie of the Year at her brokerage and ended up quitting a couple months later because she could not take it anymore with, in regards to mental health and doing this job. I know realtors who typically make $250 to $300K who have done 0 deals this year. They've made $0. Just imagine what that does to your mental health going from $300K to 0. When your whole identity becomes the guy who makes $300K a year and sells such and such homes per year, and now you're this guy over here doing 0 deals, it's brutal. All that being said, what is it actually like being a realtor right now in 2024? Despite all of these things, all of the shitty things that are happening right now, the last 2 years have also been the most fun that I've ever had in my entire life. I am so glad that I decided to leave my shit job of being a plumber to come and do this. And if you don't think it's shit, good for you. I did. But I am so happy that I decided to leave that job. Despite how crappy things are right now, I know it's not always going to be this way. I am so glad and thankful that I decided to make the jump from my old job, which was being a plumber, to this job, because I genuinely enjoy what I do today. Despite how shitty things are right now, I know it isn't always going to be this way. I know my database grows every year. I know my followers grow every year. I know I get better at doing my job every year. My skills get better. And even if this doesn't result in more money in my pocket right now, it will have to at some point. I wake up every day and I'm genuinely very excited for the future and where I'm going in my life. Because if you focus on skill acquisition and actually improving yourself, eventually there will be a new floor set under your income where it doesn't matter what's going on in the economy, what's happening, you can't make less money than this. This is the absolute bottom. You are too valuable, you're too skilled, you know too much to make any less than this. So my advice to any realtors out there right now that are depressed, that are struggling with their mental health, that are XYZ, or maybe you're thinking about getting into real estate, is that instead of focusing on the result, the money coming in, which I know is tough and I get caught in this too, focus on the acquisition of skills and improving yourself. If you could believe this, just recently learned how to use a CRM. I went like 2.5 years just posting on social media with no CRM, doing like 40 plus deals a year. I've just recently now started adding all my contacts into a CRM. I've learned how to do templates and email marketing and set up automated workflows and all this kind of shit. That is skill acquisition that I would have never done had this crappy part of the market happened. I would not have learned those skills. I've been improving my YouTube channels. I'm getting better at having difficult conversations. These are all skills that I'm going to need to have to eventually get to that next level. Eventually, we will get back to a normal market, and all of the realtors who are going to quit will have quit by then, and all of the new business that will now flood back into the market will be split amongst way less realtors, and you will be much more skilled, and you'll be able to actually handle the business that's coming your way because you'll know how to have those difficult conversations. You'll know how to put them in the CRM and follow up with everybody so nothing is falling through the leaky bucket, etc. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Please do subscribe to the channel if you did, like this video, and please subscribe to the viral letter using the link down below in the description. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.